welcome to Youngest Lady the One YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button down below and turn on the bell icon. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section.
Whatever it doesn't matter how dire, it doesn't matter how difficult, it doesn't matter how despondent the situation looks, we'll get through it. This too shall pass. We've been through it before, we'll get through it, and when it happens again, if it happens again, we'll deal with it as and when it shows up. So I want you, my fellow Zambian brothers and sisters, to understand this, that no matter what, this too shall pass. Please understand that. Okay, guys, I was listening to HH yesterday. I think that was yesterday. He had received the UCZ, and I'll be honest with you, my heart went out to the head of state, because at the core, and I think anyone that watches him and sees the way that he sort of deliberated through this process, I don't think there's a soul that would disagree that HH bent over backwards to sort of extend an olive branch and to ensure that ECL's body is brought back safely, brought back home where it belongs, so that the Zambian people can collectively mourn. I think that has been starkly clear. That has been abundantly clear, and nobody can argue with that. But what I noticed in the head of state's countenance and his visage was that I think he's sort of come to terms with the fact that he did everything he could. You know that old song, after you've done all, stand. After having done all, stand. And I think the president has done all, and the only thing we can do is stand as a nation. So here's the thing. Aside from that, I noticed that he said something that we don't often think about, and he's not given enough credit for, and it's this. He said, do you know that ECL is the first former head of state that passed away with his immunity intact? Remember, there were calls for his immunity to be lifted, and there was pressure from everywhere, prodding and pushing the head of state to lift ECL's immunity. There were people within the conclave of the UPND, I would imagine, that had axes to grind, that had scores to settle, that had grudges to lay to rest, that were probably whispering in HH's ear, lift that immunity, let's get him. Lift ECL's immunity, and let's sick the dogs on him. Lift the immunity so that we can say swa, as we say in Zambia. In America, they say sick the dog on you. In Zambia, we say swa. And through all of that noise, through all of that cacophony, through all of that prodding, HH still did not move to have ECL's immunity lifted. Granted, it's a complicated process, but it's a process that has been walked down before. Predecessors have gone through that. Predecessors have ensured that former heads of states' immunities are lifted, and they have done it in full color, in Dolby sound. But this former president, under this administration, died with his immunity intact. HH doesn't receive enough credit for that. Many of you conveniently ignore that fact. Many people within the NPF, the notorious Patriotic Front, they conveniently ignore the fact that part of ECL's life was not tampered with. In Zambia, we say tempad. Hey, Stacey B, I see you. I love you. We say tempad. It wasn't tampered with. And so, through all of the heartache and pain, through all of the rumors and innuendos, we have now finally, as a nation, we are standing on the precipice. We are standing on the edge. We are literally standing on the ledge of a moment when our former and sixth president, late President ECL, is finally laid to rest tomorrow in South Africa. A country that he never for one moment, not for a moment, did he ever think that he would, his remains would be deposited in a foreign nation, much less South Africa. You know that old English saying, he's turning in his grave. What that means is that the dead is displeased with certain things happening. If you deposit ECL in South African soil, and you allow South African soil to consume and swallow him, he will turn in his grave. His body will not be at rest, because his body would not have been deposited in his homeland, which is here. We love South Africa, but that's not our country. They're Chaloches. It is not our territory. This is our territory. This is the land from whence we came. That's Old Testament talk. If you're not a Pentecostal Christian, you won't even know what that means. The land from whence he came, right here. But you haven't done the right thing by taking him to some far off country, the Word of God says. So here it is. The family, through sheer stubbornness, beyond determination, psychotic determination, in my view, against the backdrop of the whole country screaming and yelling and saying, no, no, that's not the way to go. Against that backdrop, the family that comprises less than 10 people have determined the course of a former head of state, a man that served more than 20 million people for 7 years. Less than 10 people have decided on where to lay him to rest, and he had no say-so. I want you to think about that. He had no say in it. And were he to be consulted, he would have refused between here and kingdom come. He would have said no, no, 1,000 times no. But as you know, the dead cannot dictate from the grave. And so you have done with his remains what you will, and you've done it for political purposes. You've done it for political convenience. You've done it because you've got an axe to grind. That's what you've done. Tassila knows it. Makebi Zulu knows it. All those people surrounding ECL, they know it. Given Luwinda knows it. Raphael Hijaka Kachinda Nakachinda knows it. Sean, lunatic, screw loose, Looney Tunes Tembo, he knows it. Every last one of those guys, they know what we're doing here today. We're not doing for the good of the country. We're doing it for ourselves. We're doing it because we can't stand HH. We're doing it because we loathe HH. We're doing it because our disdain for HH is so palpable that we cannot stomach the idea of depositing ECL on Zambian soil. You have cut off your nose to spite your face. Oh, that's a heavy one there, boy. Chisungu. You familiar with that phraseology? The NPF have cut off their nose to spite their face. It means Sometimes you harm yourself thinking that the way you're harming yourself will harm somebody else more than you, when in fact it's actually harmed you more than that other person. It's like a wife that is angry at her husband for having cheated on her. She burns the house, but where's she going to live? She's burnt the house, but where's she going to cook from? She's burnt the house, but where's she going to take a bath in? You have cut off your nose to spite your face. That's what these jokers have done. And they've done it in broad daylight, in Dolby sound, in HD.